everybody. Thank you, Jerry. I had some good stuff talking there, but nobody heard me because I forgot again. Thank you, Dirk. Yes, Blair. Hey, now, Darren. Oh, Cat 3 drove through Louisville, or driving through Louisville. It's not good time to drive through Louisville as far as the rain and other shit. Oh, well. Let's see. My glasses are halfway right. So I was pissed off today. I was trying to get a refund on the new WWE 2K game because I got a damn corrupted data and we can't save it. And I uninstalled it 3 times and still getting the error. So I was on the chat with the Sony PlayStation person somewhere. His name was Mario. And he said, unfortunately, for some reason, it's something about streaming it. And I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah, I played it for a while. But anyway. No, John, I got it on the PS5. Hey, Red, Texas. So, it is what it is. The main thing, I mean, I know it's, whoa, Blair hanging out with Taker. That's pretty neat. One thing about Taker is, back in Memphis wrestling, he was on there in the had to be pretty early 80s. He was the King of Pain, and they used to play the, I believe it's the Police song as his theme or something. But anyway, and it was pretty funny. Well, Jerry, that would work if it was a computer and a browser. James, sometimes. Definitely have had issues where in the past, I think 2019 was like the one that was the least issues, but like people would hold up belts and they would be completely blank or black. Yeah, Master of Pain. Yeah, you're right. It was Master of Pain. But I think they still play King of Pain on a video or something. Hey, Robzilla. Kentucky. But, yeah, I'm a little... the game is not... it's different, obviously. It's a little... The controls are a little crazy. But, it's definitely fun. But I like to do a universe, and I'll have all these creative wrestlers. And now I can't do that because you can't have a universe when corrupted data. I mean, I guess you can if you want to go through and create it all and then play it and never stop. Because if you stop and back out of it and go back in, all of it will be gone because it never saved it. So I'm not doing all that. So, and you can't play universe mode of any type, because it just won't save it. So if you're not going to save it, whatever. Yeah, this is like the NWO garbage pail kids. I'm the last guy in here. I don't know if I saw him in World Class. I definitely saw him in once or twice in WCW as Mean Mark. Yeah, I mean the controls. I'm sure I'll get used to them after I play it 100 hours. But I'm not much into the old UFC anymore. Though I played some of the UFC 4, which is it was a free game on when you get the online stuff. And of course I was horrible at it, but it's got this Kumite, I don't know what you call it, level or part of the game where you're in like blood sports and shit, but I haven't been able to find it yet. So, hey, Cat 3, thank you. Yes, it was weird shit. No emails, no nothing, and just one day last week, or maybe it was like Thursday or so, it just showed up out of the blue, and I thought I'd just go over a couple of titles. Thank you, Category 3, for reminding me what I posted on the show. But I watched this last night, The Antichrist, which is obviously it's a Exorcist ripoff. There was one, Blair, already. Jay Real out there in Texas. This thing's a long-ass movie. Oh, the spoiler. That match last night with Wheeler Yuta and Moxley was pretty bloody. I would say that. Yeah, I mean, this thing is almost 2 hours long. And I definitely know that the previous releases were not that long. So I did fall asleep at the near the end of this. But, what am I going... Yeah, it isn't. Oh, well, I don't know if I really want to, need that. I don't know. It's good enough for me. It's to say I'm not going to partake of any more versions of the Antichrist. One Bava movie that I don't believe I've watched more than a few minutes of that I want to check out is the old Whipping the Body. Whipping the Body. Where Christopher Lee is whipping some women. Of course I do, sir. Fan of Eli. Well, sir, or lady, ma'am, those back there are all mines. Dana has hers all over the place. The whipping the booty. Yeah, I remember the Von Erichs. I did watch some of World Class in the 90s. Maybe it was late 80s, early 90s before it went out. Yeah, I'm not a big Bray Wyatt fan. I just didn't think he was that good. But, opinions vary. Hard Target, 4K. Yeah. It's weird that they gave him a freaking that Ring of Honor title. I think they just wanted to get him off all the other guys that they didn't have under contract, which they pretty much did. But anyway, haven't watched this yet. And I got Love Butcher, which I haven't watched in a long time. I do have the Code Red DVD of it, and this is the Code Red Blu-ray. I kind of remember some of it, but it's been a long time. I did got a Severin order in. I was not able to use my Severin discount code they gave me. I need to email them about that. But Dana got a little gift card, and so she allowed me to use a little bit of it to get the House at the Edge of the Park Ultra Words of My Mama thing. The big deal. And I did purchase, for some reason, I didn't get the Caligula movies, but I did purchase the Caligula coin. And it came in this little cover, and it's a lot bigger than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a nickel size. So, $5, I guess. I think it was worth it, but, maybe not in the long run. Well, Kino is like the main distributor of Code Red now. Possibly they've bought him out, but I don't know for sure. Old boy's got a lot of health problems. Oh, shit. I have not fan of Eli. I didn't know I needed a replacement disc. So that's another, if that's true, that's another bonus. Blair, I don't know. I don't remember WrestleMania 8. Come on now. Oh, cool, Darren. I hope so. I don't know. The Kino stuff, definitely they have one of the better sales of the distributors or labels. Definitely I want to get the soundtrack out, and of course I don't have a CD player, so I'll put it in a Blu-ray player and play that lovely, give me some more and more. I'll play that over and over. Yeah, Bill Olsen is a weirdo. Now, here's the weird thing. His brother runs Scorpion. He doesn't do any crazy shit as far as I know, at least in public, or it gets out there. But his brother is a nut job who's probably going to lose his legs if he hasn't already for some. He had like sores and shit, but guess what? You don't go to the damn doctor. That shit's not going to get better as an old person. I like gratuitous nudity. Yes. Yes, I remember Skinner, Steve Kern. What a stupid gimmick. Those are the bad days as far as just like everybody has to have a gimmick. And then now they're trying to do that stupidness in NXT is why I don't watch it anymore. I don't give a shit about some gangster dude in the mafia. That's horseshit. Well, Red. Well, Deodato directed it. It's got David Hess in it from House on the Left, and John Morganson, Roberto Bici. It's kind of like basically it's the Italian version of Last House on the Left to a degree, but a lot more fun and ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I watched WrestleMania, a little bit of the night one, because I could care less about night two, and it was all right. But I'm not missing anything. Let's just say that. Yeah, that was some good stuff back in the day. There's a lot of those ECW TV shows out on the on YouTube. I watched a few of them. Yeah, and you got it's just a crazy movie, but definitely worth watching for a lot of reasons. But fun. House on Straw Hill. Yep, I've seen that. I have the Blu-ray of it. Kentucky. It was pretty good. Of course, Udo Kier is strange. He got stranger as he got older, but I have too. Yeah, the FBI, and I'll tell you, I have it, Darren. There's it's like three of them. There's one about the what's it? I forgot what it's called. Euroscene. It's a documentary about their cannibal movies or something. But yeah, I might have to check one out. I wish I'd remembered. I would have watched one earlier. Let me tell you what I watched, but I think I'm sure Darren has heard of this. Yeah, the very first UFC stuff was insane, and that was interesting. There was nobody holding a choke or a move for 20 minutes. But anyway, they remade or made a movie called Diabolic, which is about the I guess it's a comic book character in Italy, and I got to see it today, and it's too long, but it was better than I expected, but not really rewatchable, but it's out there on the interwebs, so it's definitely pretty cool. But this Diabolic is like he kills people and shit with knives in their back and shit. It's like a little bit different than the Mario Bava movie. Have I seen Lisa and the Devil? I have, and it's very strange. But I liked it. But yeah, it's a strange film. And then also you got the kind of re-edited version called House of Exorcism, which is equally strange, which they tried to sell as a Exorcist ripoff. Yeah, the Kino sale is awesome to get some of these releases. I forgot to get Enter the Ninja, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Have I seen the Munchies? That's a good question. Maybe 30 years ago, but definitely haven't seen it in a while. And don't have really an urge to watch that. It's got Kojak in it. Oh, you're talking about the Lisa and the Devils. Yeah. Telly Savalas. And it's interesting because I think he was, at that point, I guess he was a smoker and he stopped smoking in the movie. And I think that's the first time he was sucking on Lollipops before Kojak, but I don't know. Definitely not good as Critters, but I'm not a big Critters fan either. Scream 81. I think I've seen that one a long time ago. Needs a 4K. I don't know about all that. Didn't have a Blu-ray. John, I think for the most part, I would say yes. I think he didn't really get that style of craziness until later on. I mean, he did a movie. He did a giallo called The Perversion Story in '69, and that's kind of a trippy little giallo, but nothing craziness happens into it. So a little later on, I think it's when he went completely nuts. I think got really good, like lizard skin and stuff. No Blair. No gnome named Norm. I can't do that. But definitely haven't seen. He's got a few westerns that are good. Like I think Massacre Time is good. That's like 68 or 66 or something. But Four for the Apocalypse is a really, really good. It's not really a crazy spaghetti western, but it's really good. Performance wise and stuff. But I did watch Black Roses last night off of Joe Bob's Valentine's show from, was it, maybe it's earlier this year? I can't remember when this one came out. I think it was. But I need to find the soundtrack. Some of those songs are pretty good. Let me get some more caffeine because I need to feel the pricklies. Pricklies. How's Black Roses? It's pretty entertaining. For like an 80, I mean, it came out in the late 80s. I think. But yeah, I liked it. Yeah, Dirk. If we didn't have Critters, we would not have Ghoulies. But what was I trying to say again? I've been busy and loosey goosey. My brain's mushy mushy. I watched Teenage Exorcist with Brent Stevens. And I'd never seen that one before. Unfortunately, she doesn't show any major skin, but she does get down in this weird little outfit. It looks like a lingerie, but with garters and stuff. But I don't know. Did I like how Hard Rock Zombies? Well, yeah, Dirk, that's some crazy shit. There's so much craziness in that movie. That might become more of a cult thing maybe in a couple years. Especially the documentary on it is really good. At least the first few minutes from my what I could judge, seeing the major characters or a lot of them in the documentary. So it makes it. It was pretty interesting. I probably want to watch that all, but I didn't. Red, Inner Ninja 3. Yeah, it's got some good stuff in it, but I mean, I like it a lot. I don't think I had the poster for that one, but I got the poster for Revenge of the Ninja, which is my favorite of the three. But there's a lot of worse movies that What you got, Dana?
Brandon likes a present on the wall.
It's not even Christmas.
No, it's not your birthday either.
What are you doing, Brandon? You going shopping more? You gonna get me another gift?
He was shopping on Amazon.
Let's make sure all this white light gets in here. Right? Anywho. So, but yeah, I did Tuesday. I did get one of the steelbooks for the new Scream. But I hadn't watched it yet because I ain't got enough time. Maybe one of these days. I got a 4-day weekend next weekend, but don't have any vacation, so I can't get paid for my 2 days off. So lose a little bit of money, but kill them. Kill them all. Get them. Where did the other one go?
Sammy's back in this.
Yeah. Take me now. Take me away. Also, kind of bummed about Wasteland. Synapse is up there selling that Tombs of the Blind Dead or Blu-ray. And but I mean, I didn't want to drive 5.5 hours to Cleveland to get it, so. Oh, Darren. Have I seen a film called I Start Counting from '69? I don't know. I mean, I've definitely heard of it. I was watching, some of that documentary about folk horror, and they show a little bit about that one. Well, they haven't. They're playing coy. They haven't really said he's dead, so I don't know if Stu could have came back. He would have probably been that chick's. I don't know. Well, Axel, you can definitely do that. I can tell you that one day would be when Halloween Express opens nearby. But I start counting out. A lot of films on that documentary. Of course, I haven't even finished it because it's over 3 hours long, I think. But a lot of those things sound interesting to watch. But getting the time. It's all about the time. Oh. Damn it. What was that movie? Oh, yeah. Black Roses is a trauma movie, I think. Cool, Darren. That's okay, Category 3. I can wait. I appreciate it. Damn, you're going to go to Wasteland on a Sunday? That's when everybody leaves, at least. The vendors are still there for some point. But, yeah. Kind of. Maybe I should just wait on this one and get the standard release that will eventually come down when I know they're not planning on it, but when the bill comes in and they need some extra cash, they're going to plan on it then. This plan on shit is, won't they just be fucking honest? I don't understand. Yeah, that's true, Blair. You want a McRib, Axel? Well, the limited time only. is not limited, is outside this limit. Yeah, I know. A lot of people, some people do that, going on Sundays for the deals because they don't want to bring back all that stock. But man, the last time we went was in 2013, and it was horrible because just before I went, I dropped my iPhone in the toilet. So I was pissed, and I just went and got another one. That took some time. Dana lived an hour and a half away, so I had to go get her and drive an hour and a half back, then go up to Cleveland. So it was something in the morning. Huh. Well, I'll have to see if I can get a hold of that release. I mean, I still have I don't even know if I think I have a Blu-ray of Texas Chainsaw, but it might be, I think I got a steelbook, and I don't even know if it's the Blu-ray or the DVD. Half off autographs is probably not a option. Dogs are having fits. Here, I'll save you. Let me just do something real quick. The dog wants to rip the fence down, and I want to hurt him, but I can't. Can't. Frightmare. There ain't many of those guys left, is there? For the he's Scarefest and Robert England for one thing. I'm not paying no money for nothing no more. I ain't caring unless it's some Italian people. Or Hammer people. Other than that, they can get my money. Not gonna happen no more. I don't want to throw my money away. I mean, it's your opinion, or my opinion rather, that it's just I can't give somebody money for, and it's like ridiculous. But anyway, I went to conventions for quite a number of years. Somehow, I didn't really intend to do all these things, but it wasn't that great. It was great at the beginning because it's all new and shit. But after a few more, it's just you don't want to spend no money. Yeah, Blair, you got to buy one of Chip Coffey's scarves. I hope he sells them there. I remember when he's there a lot, and then the Ghost Adventure guys were just wandering around. It's just insane with the ghost people. Everybody's got a ghost show. Or it's a ghost attraction from a different state. Yeah, if you're going to come to Maryland, we got this rundown mill that was haunted because of someone's goats that died. But, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get out of spending a lot of money for a table to do that. But anyway. Oh yeah, a long time ago. I don't like the angry nerd kid. It's my. I can't get the head to stay 90 degrees. I feel like I look horrible. I thought I looked good earlier, but it's the lighting. That's what it is. I don't know why, but I got bad lighting. I got bad lighting. Oops. Now I gotta fix all this. Damn it. Yeah, I mean, I got Ken Ferret. He's all right, but I don't know. I just don't want to give money. I do not read. I do not. Axel, yeah, X is pretty decent. I liked it. It is kind of a Texas Chainsaw ish feel to it, but it was definitely worth the watch. I don't know about owning it and all that jazz, but maybe some people would. I don't know. I hate to buy stuff, and I know that I'm probably just gonna watch this once. Richard Long for the win, or Robert Long rather. Are you a fan of Beware of Children at Play? If I'm thinking about the same movie, it's pretty good as far as craziness. A lot of little child death in this. There's a scene or like a GIF or something where this little kid gets like, I think he gets shot with a shotgun and he just flies down. If that's, I think that's the one I've seen. And I'm pretty sure it's in the film. It's an awesome film. But, I mean, if you hadn't heard, Malignant's out on 4K, and then now you can get the 4K off Amazon. And when I heard about it, I could only get it off Diabolic. But I guess maybe I've already put in money in there and I can't cancel it. Maybe I'll get it early or something. How do I rate the Jaws series? In the order of the appearance. Jaws 1 is all you need. The others are just money. But, of course, all of them are money. But I guess Jaws 2 is better than Jaws 3 and 4. I don't know. Yeah, that's right, Robert Long. Kill the kids. There. I did my obligation of time with the hat so everybody could get their screenshots. So, what do I watch? No. Yeah, well, I'm thinking I watched something new off Shudder, but I sure didn't. Other than like something old with Joe Bob. Adios.
Those lazy butt mail carriers didn't take that package today.
Oh no.
Is Texas in there?
Yeah, she says hi. She sent you stickers and stuff.
Yeah, but no, they didn't pick it up. I guess I'll have to wait till Monday.
Our dog Brandon left you something. We wrapped it up for you in there.
No.
The birthday gift he just gave me. I'll sign it or something if he makes it. The package. How about getting them damn dogs in? Are they in?
They're all in, so red.
That's the damn dog.
Red.
It's really stop barking. Ugh. My brain is frozen.
Here, and act like you got some sense.
Get him, Dana.
I gotta go and get that package here in a second.
Ooh.
Schedule a pickup, and they don't ever pick up the damn thing.
Congratulations. I hear. I mean, if you're interested, some people are interested in some of them Hong Kong releases. They're releasing a 4K steelbook of Dragons Forever. That's insane. There it is. Yep. 88 films. Actually, this is a Blu-ray of it. No, that's that's Dragons Forever. I guess I'll get it from them. No. Here we go. Coming to 4K. And August 23rd from 88 Films. The 4K of Dragons Forever. Yeah. So some releases there, buddies. Releases. Survivor. A lot of Australian releases. Jeez. Huh. X will be out next month. Less than 2 months. 5/24 on Blu-ray and other formats.
Well, I was wrong. They did pick it up. These are my second shipment of Pepsi Nitro.
Take it back, Dana, what you said.
About what? Lazy
About
male carriers?
yes, take it back.
I didn't say all male carriers, just the ones that
That's
are...
right. Not all
Now
women.
They sent us a gigantic thing wanting
Yeah.
us to get that water.
What was that a
bottle
penis
covered.
on it for? They drew a penis.
I think it's a 19.
Look, they drew a penis.
I don't care if they do it in hot pink. I'm still not going to pay that extra money. I paid them $170.
Thanks, Dana. I mean, John there, I spent like $200 or maybe a little, I think it was $220 for like a 10 or 12 terabyte drive. So I have a lot of movies on those. I have about 4 drives that I stream from. And, I mean, I'm trying to consolidate, but then again, if you have all your movies on one hard drive and it dies, you're pretty much screwed. What horror poster would you like to own, Blair? Let's see. I mean, there was one I was looking up, and I couldn't. And then I obviously it's super expensive. I mean, there's one that obviously it's not an original. It's the Mondo poster for the Mummy. I just thought that was the Universal old Mummy. It was beautiful, but shoot, I don't have like I have both Demons posters. One's better. The first Demons poster is better than the second one. I don't know any. I can't think of any that I know. There's hundreds I want. Damn, Dana. Nothing. I was looking, and like I was saying, I couldn't see much that I would. I can't spend like tons of money.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Now that you're making that extra money, you can't spend.
Okay, I'll buy a $300 or $400 poster.
I'm just kidding.
I guess I would want some of those old Universal posters from when the originals, and also maybe the, I think they re-released them in a couple years after
How
that.
much plastic wrap this guy put on these things?
Yeah.
He must have used a whole thing of plastic wrap.
Well, I don't have a full-size original poster of the Phantasm. Now, that's one I would like. I got one of the ones that came with the Blu-ray or something, DVD or something. A little miniature one, and I got it signed by a bunch of them. But I do have a Phantasm 2 poster, and I got Reggie to sign it. So...
I got my Phantasms figure.
Okay. That nunsploitation movie, Benedetta, from Paul Verhoeven is coming out in June. Definitely, if you hadn't seen that, it's kind of hard now because there is no rent or a video store. Some of these movies I would have probably just rented to watch once, but that's not an option anymore, or at least something I would want to spend tons of money on. Mondo Macabre's got some shit left. Hotel Fear. The old Italian. Funhouse on Blu-ray coming from the Scream Factory. Yes, Dan, I said that.
I thought you said Blu-ray.
No. I don't give a shit about Cat People from 1982. I mean, I don't see what the big... I mean, obviously, Natasha Kinski, but other than that, it's alright. At the time, it was pretty crazy, but I'm not sure why that gets a 4K release. And then Vinegar Syndrome releasing another thing of freaking Death Wish 2. I mean, how many releases has that had on Blu-ray? Muscle Builder, Bloody Muscle Builder in Hell. It's only like it's a very short movie as far as I can remember, but it is kind of, I think they called it like the Japanese Evil Dead, which it's not to that extreme, but it's pretty nuts. Ronin Films. I like their sales. What's the most you spent on a horror movie poster? I don't know. I can't think. Dana bought me the original Suspiria poster, and it was like $100, which seems like a lot, but really these things go for a lot more. Yeah, Maneater. Haha. But yeah, probably. Yeah, bootlegs. That's all you can get. If I want to rent something, I'll just go online and find a torrent of it. Like I did with that Morpheus movie. Oh my God. I mean, it's okay, but it's nothing really outstanding either. So it's just not very. I don't know. But I'm glad I didn't go to see the theater. Well, I know. If you got the UK releases of like some of the Carpenter movies on 4K, which I got Prince of Darkness and Escape from New York, and man, those things look amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't even looked, John, about the Suspiria one sheet and stuff like that because it's just insane. I was looking at some Edwin Finnick posters, original posters, and like they go for crazy. I mean, you can get like a day bill for maybe 60 or 70, but there's some that are hundreds of dollars. And you know that paper is so thin, it probably, if you touched it the wrong way, it would rip on half. And 5. Well, there's 8K apparently, but I don't think that's going to happen. For movies, anyway.
So Texas package should be on its way.
Wow, we have Goblins Inc. in here. They did all the soundtrack for Mario Kabuki horror movies. Ooh. Well, the reason the Batman may be a little hard to swallow is because it's a big old pie at almost 3 hours long. So you can definitely watch Morbius at least twice before you're done with the Batman. No, I do not, Blair. I do not like baseball. Say what you will, but I don't. I'm not big into those sports. I mean, it's just a bunch of nonsense when it comes down to it. Ooh. Second Sight Films has got a Witches or the Vitch limited edition 4K, but it's delayed. Malignant Baby. We gotta wait till end of May. So Memorial Day, I'll be watching some 4K Malignant. I also saw about what is it? Severn's going to be releasing a Blu-ray of Faceless, which definitely is pretty good for a late 80s kind of. I think it's a Jess Franco movie, which maybe I'm crazy, but and completely wrong. But oh, yep, I'm looking at it and it says Jess Franco's Faceless. So it's one of his movies that actually makes sense, at least in a general term. And then Euro Cult of Christopher Lee 2, which contains even more worse movies. Except I haven't seen the one where he's like a comedy about Dracula, but I'm really contemplating that Demonia set from Arrow because of the extras, which is kind of strange. Sexy ladies inside. I'm sure it's about money, John. It's all about that. You coming in later, Dana?
Yeah, whenever you're done.
You can come in a few. You can come in now if you want.
Well, I'm heating up some soup.
So what is that telling me?
It'll take 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. But that Demonia is not a good movie, but it's like I think it's like the tipping point for when his movies got crazy And then this one's kind of this half-ass crazy. It's crazy, very minimally, and and then it just went to dog shit afterwards. So I don't know. Yeah, get the mystery titles from Vinegar Syndrome. Is Demonia good? Well, it's like it's like the Beyond, except Beyond is like a 10 in fulchiness, or at least funny or entertaining fulchiness. Um, Demonia is like a 3 or something out of that. But I'm not saying it's bad. I can't say nothing. It's crazy nuns with question marks on their head, and then they're like physical, and then they just disappear. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's good. Yeah, absolutely, Darren. He's very hit and miss. Luckily, I think I might have a DVD of this of Demonia. I didn't get the upgrade. Upgrade. Too many upgrades for a wallet to handle. And then I got next week. The steelbook is this Tuesday is Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm gonna have to be looking on Best Buy and see if I can get in there and get me one, and have to go pick it up. Also, we'll be switching hours, so I won't have to get up at 5 a.m. anymore. I can get up at 6 a.m., which is better, at least. And so we'll see how that works out here after Easter. Enigma's is okay. It's just, I think, Enigma was before Demonia. That was 90, I'm pretty sure. So this is its competency is, its competency is not good anyway, but in these later films, but it gets worse. It's almost like he's going to sleep, and he's just moving his eyes, and then after that it's he's snoring, and then all these are snores with the graham crackers. I don't know. Enigma, the music in Enigma is pretty good as far as being funny. And then there was this CD that came out. I can't even remember now, but it was a Fulci symphony of fear or something like that. And they had a bunch of covers or something. People covered songs from Fulci movies, which is hilarious. And this one band did the Enigma song, and that's one of the highlights of the entire CD. Dana Lynn. When will she come in? Movie posters. I want some of them naughty posters. Yeah, porn posters are pretty expensive. Which who would want? I don't want one in my living room. I don't know what you would do with a porn poster in this time. Fulci does love bugs. Some bugs love women. There's TNT Jackson. Also, by posters, somehow got a Ginger poster. I think it might be the original one. The 3 Ginger movies, which is not porn, by the way. It was some 70s sleaze. I hear somebody coming. That's awesome. So you didn't hear, but they can't give me a refund, Dana.
Why?
They say the game was streamed, which means like what? What does that mean? I didn't stream it.
I don't know, but I'm gonna be mad if I wasted $70.
I'll play it. I'll play it the way it is.
I guess I'll wait a while and get you
No.
and get you a physical copy of it.
No.
Yeah, I can wait for my first paycheck.
They don't. The physical copy's not going to be any different. It's the same thing, Dana.
Oh, I think you could take the fucking physical copy back. And
So you
say,
want to
"Hey,
buy
this
the
is-"
physical copy and then take it back?
If it don't work, we'll keep taking them back till we get one that does work.
But that's not giving the original money back.
No, but they're obviously not going to, are they?
No, so then there's no,
I don't know what that means. It's been streamed. You're
Well,
probably
it doesn't
talking to
ma-
somebody on the other side of the world.
I don't care. I'll just keep. There ain't nothing I can do. Yep,
Did you chat with somebody or did you send an email?
I chatted.
Well, chances are you're talking to somebody from Ooga Booga or something.
But I do. Darren, I do have the Animal trilogy. I have a deep red, but it's a foreign one. It's not the standard one, and I think I have the Creepers, and then so I have a bunch of Argento posters. So, but yeah, I bet they're super. Anything's super expensive from that time period is, you know. Oh, Sleepless is that Kino still had a release of Sleepless. I don't think it was the. It could have been the one from Ronin Films, and what are you standing there for?
I
You
thought
wait
it
for
was
me?
time for me. Unless people are still talking to you, in which case.
No, I'm just getting up. I was waiting. Dana Lynn, everybody. Dana Lynn.
But Dana Lynn has to bring her supper in here.
Dana Lynn.
'Cause I didn't know what time you were going to get through.
Don't burn my fake leather.
I got a pot holder, dear. I'm not sure why Steve had the laptop in here, but guys, I'm sorry to be eating, but it's time for my supper, and my hair is sticking out all over the place. Steve will be calling it witch hair again. But I do have some soup here, so if you guys don't mind, I'll probably be eating some of it while I'm talking to you guys. But Texas, I don't know if you heard that discussion I was having with Steve about lazy mail carriers, but I looked out the front door and I thought that your package was still there, because sometimes I'll schedule a pickup for Saturday and they won't pick it up. So I'll move this over just a little bit. But in this case, they did. There was a box out there, but it was my second shipment of Nitro Pepsis, because the guy that sent them to me, like, it sat in pre-shipment stage for well over a week, and so I contacted him. He said, well, I'm going to send you some more out because it seems the post office has lost your original package. Well, I got the original package the other day, but it was beat all to hell. But the Nitro Pepsis were okay. But I got a second shipment of them in today, and he told me if I got 2 shipments that I could just keep them for the inconvenience. So I have 4 Nitro Pepsis, 2 vanilla and 2 regular. So, yeah, Dirk, I do always eat on the streams. One of the many, there's not too many perks to being diabetic, but being able to eat at kind of inappropriate times is a perk for me. And I wish those dogs would shut up, because as you guys know that come into my regular streams, it gets me totally distracted whenever they start barking and things. Oh, great, Texas. Well, in any event, the mail carrier did take it today. I was just thinking that the box that was sitting out there on the bench was your package that didn't get shipped. So it did get shipped this evening, or this afternoon, rather. But anyway, hopefully it should be, on your doorstep or in your mailbox or whatever, wherever you get your mail. Or packages that are like yay big. It should be there soon. And thank you again for your order. Yeah, hell yeah, free soda. Well, I don't think oh, John, you want to know what the Nitro Pepsi tastes like? Okay, to me, I was a lot like CK. I don't know how many of you watched his video that he did where he was drinking it. Oh gosh, hold on just a second, guys. Steve, what is going on in there? What is going on in there? Well, it's hard to concentrate with that going on in there. But anyway, I don't know how many of y'all saw CK's video where he tested out. He tested out the regular, and the regular is the only one I've tried right now. But I'm going to try the vanilla. Steve, you sound like you're aggravating him and getting him started more. Steve, come on. It's probably because you had that damn gummy. Oh. Steve insisted on taking a gummy before he got on this stream, and now he's getting the dog to start howling when I get on here. Oh great, okay. I couldn't remember exactly what it said, but yeah, if it says Wednesday, I would expect it either by Wednesday or possibly maybe a day or so before, if you're lucky. Sometimes I get lucky and get things a little bit earlier. But anyway, back to the Nitro Pepsis. I thought they were good. I thought the regular Nitro Pepsi was good. I'm going to do the vanilla one a little bit later and put vanilla ice cream in it. Because I was like CK. I thought it tasted a lot like, the foam that you would have on a root beer float. For those of you that like root beer floats, you probably love this. So it didn't taste like flat Pepsi to me. I've heard a lot of people say it tastes like flat Pepsi. But to me, it just tasted like Pepsi with a lot of foam. But I figured out from watching CK's video that I didn't upend it the right way. I was pouring it at a slant. You're actually supposed to turn it all the way upside down and pour it into the glass. That's what it means by pouring hard. So I'm going to try that this time, and I think I'll get more foam that way. But I am going to try the vanilla one in a little bit, probably when I get off of here after I have my soup, and try the vanilla with vanilla ice cream and see what that is like. But the videos that I was seeing, it seems like a lot of people are doing like taste test type videos for the Nitro Pepsi. And the still photos or whatever they have on there, it indicates to me that the people are anticipating not liking it, or they actually tried it and didn't like it, because the pictures are like that and stuff, like, or they're just I don't understand what this is, kind of thing. But anyway, that's my take on it. Oh, and by the way, Texas, Steve asked me to put one of his Captain's Quarters stickers in your Etsy order, so you will be getting one of these as well. Just a little bonus there. Let's see. Derek, you say, I think I just bought the first Jello, the girl who knew too much. I was thinking Steve had that one. Maybe he doesn't, but I thought. And Red, you say, what kind of dog do you have? I want an English Bulldog or Welsh Corgi. Long story. Well, I think Steve actually, later on down the road when our other babies are, we don't like to talk about it, but when they're no longer here, possibly getting an English Bulldog. I do like Corgis, though, although I've never owned one. But Stephen King's had Corgis, I think. Sorry, just taking a little sip of soup there. But actually, Red, I have, we have 2 Basset Hounds. We have a Pit Bull Boxer mix. We have a Jack Russell Dachshund mix. And what we believe to be a Chiweenie, Darcy, our new girl, we believe she's a Dachshund Chihuahua mix. But she's got mostly Dachshund features to her. So, we have a lot of dogs. And they're all in the house, too. Dirk, you say you're watching more Giallo than slashers these days. Yeah, I catch myself going back and forth with that. Sometimes I'll be in the mood for more slashers, and I'll switch back to Giallos, or I'll go back to just not necessarily Italian Giallos, but Fulci stuff like House by the Cemetery, The Beyond, City of the Living Dead, or The Gates of Hell, stuff like that. Let's see. Dirk, you say, I'm trying to find blood and black lace with slip for a reasonable price. I'm not paying $100. I know Steve's got blood and black lace, but I can't recall if his has got a slip cover or not. John, you say, LOL, my wife's brother took a whole CBD gummy, but didn't think to not take his anxiety meds a day. He was fine, but freaked out and called an ambulance. He was fine, just young and stupid. Well, I think I've told you guys this before. I probably will not be partaking in any more gummies, these THC gummies, because I've never smoked pot in my life. So, I didn't really know what to expect with the gummies, and I only took one. And why are these dogs coming in here again?
Hey, Brandon Lee's here.
See, Steve's hiring a kite now. But anyway, I took one, and I did like it said to take a half and then wait about 45 minutes and take the other half.
You talking about your pregnancy test? Or?
No, I'm talking about the gummies. Stop it, Steve.
Brandon stopped at the door.
Well, then let him out then.
No, that was an option.
And take his wrap off, please.
I'll put it on your head.
Okay, but anyway, when I did it and when they kicked in, I didn't feel anything for the longest time, and then it kicked in, And it's like I was trying to make my way from the living room to the kitchen, and it's like my foot would pause in midair for half a second before it went down to the floor. And I was scared that I was going to start freaking out. And I was like, how much longer is this feeling going to last or anything? And I tried to, splash it. Seriously, I tried to keep everybody quiet when you were doing it.
I can't control them.
Well, then go in there and don't aggravate him, please.
Like that old Speedwagon song.
I like REO Speedwagon. Yes, dear. Steve's high.
What's your soup?
Chicken noodle. But anyway, needless to say, I don't think that I am going to be partaking of those anymore, just because I didn't like how it made me feel. And I'm afraid that if I continue to take them, there might be a chance that I'd freak out or something. Nope, Dirk. I am retired, and I know you're kidding, but I am officially retired from doing that. This. No, super chat shots. Dirk's asking me about that again. I said, nope, I'm retired. Oh, well, you're welcome, Texas. I'll tell Steve that you said, hell yeah, thanks. I told him about the captain's quarter sticker. That's the bonus.
To 10. Oh,
10? Let's see. Hey, Apollos, it says, funny you mentioned it, but I was just watching House by the Cemetery. I always wonder why the Gates of Hell trilogy isn't included as part of the Lovecraftian horror tag. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's odd that it's not. Something else I noticed, people have been mentioning Tubi a lot. As far as being able to find, especially right now, find a lot of Italian horror and stuff on there. I was surfing through Tubi last night, just looking for something random to watch, and there was this movie called Zombie House of Hell or something like that, and I was like, what in the hell is that? But the plot sounded super familiar. So I started up just to see what it was, and it was House by the Cemetery, but somebody had superimposed this weird-ass title on it. So if you guys have Tubi, go check that out. I think it's Zombie House of Hell or something like that. And I don't know where it would have come out that had that title. I had never heard that title associated with House by the Cemetery ever. Red, you say, what are these gummies called and where can you buy? Steve, what's the name of that place where you buy your gummies? Red wants to know. Is it CBDX?
Yeah, but you can do /captain and get a discount.
Oh, they'll get a discount? Okay, Red, they are actually CBDX Delta 8 gummies. But Steve says if you do, I guess like a / and the captain or something, he says you'll get a discount. But again, he's high right now, so see, he's in there laughing like a loon now.
I'm not lying about that,
I didn't say you were lying. Hold on a minute, guys. Come on, Brandon. Let's go, buddy. Steve, how many of those did you take? Steve?
I'm still counting. I took one.
All right. You didn't take 1 1/4 or?
1.0.
Okay. Oh. Guys, hopefully I won't have to keep getting up and down. See, that's the other thing. If Steve gets high on these gummies, I can't get him to do crap. And I keep the dogs quiet and stuff while he's doing his thing. And I have to deal with the fallout all the time I'm trying to do one. Let's see. John, you say Fulci made 8 movies between 1979 and 82. I have no idea how that was possible. He must have never stopped working for years. Yeah, I don't know really how that would be possible. But this is Fulci we're talking about too. Fulci in many ways was not a normal human being. Yeah, because all of his big hits were those years. You watched Intruder the other night, Texas, and thought it was great? Yeah, actually, I rewatched that last night. You know, there's so many, and I have all these movies on Blu-Ray and stuff, or most of them. And, but sometimes you sit down in front of the TV, and when you have all these streaming options, I think we tend to get lazy, and unless we're really wanting to watch the special features or something on some of these things, we just as soon turn on something like Tubi and just watch it, and then we don't even have to get our ass up off the couch to do anything as long as the TV's on and stuff. And we've got the TV linked up with our Alexa devices. I don't want to say that too loud because the devices will hear me and then they'll start talking and carrying on. Where we can just walk through the living room and tell it to turn on the TV or whatever, and it will. Let's see. Blair, you say, can you tell a story about meeting your horror movie idol at a convention? Well, actually, Blair, I will. I have several people that I consider idols, and I talked about this in my Ted Raimi stream. But as far as I know, Blair, you weren't in that stream that I did. So I can talk about meeting Ted Raimi because he's one of the big ones. And I had been wanting to meet him for a long time. And it seemed like every time I was thinking about going to a convention to meet him, he had to cancel for one reason or another. Most of the time it was work-related stuff, I think. And then finally, I got to meet him. I want to say it was a Horror Hound convention. And he was very, very nice. He was reserved. I have heard that Ted Raimi is shy, too. And so the experience was nice. It was just underwhelming. And that, I think, was due to me hyping up this, meeting him before I met him and was expecting something else. So that entirely was not his fault that my experience was underwhelming. But I got a picture with him, and he liked my shirt. I had a shirt that I had gotten at the Mondo Tea Shop when Steve and I were in Austin, Texas in 2011. And it was an Evil Dead shirt, and he talked about how that was a cool shirt. And I talked to him for about a minute or so. I asked if I could get a picture with him. At that time, his prices were too high to get the picture with your own phone and an autograph, and so I opted more for the chance of meeting him and getting a picture taken as opposed to getting everything. And I've said this before, I've moved in that direction with almost everybody now that I'm going to meet, unless it's somebody that I, like Steve mentioned some of the Italian people. If it was somebody like Argento, unless the cost was just outrageous, I would get his autograph. And there's probably maybe a couple other people I would, but now it's more about meeting the person and having that experience and getting a picture taken. I mean, what am I going to do with the autographs unless I'm starving to death or something and I have to sell them off? Bruce Campbell was another one that I really enjoyed meeting him. I was able to. Bruce is not really reserved when you meet him. Some people think he's sarcastic. But that's just all part of his personality, I think. And it's not that he's an asshole. It's just that's what the Bruce Campbell persona is. But he was very nice to me. And, you know, signed, I had an illustration that was done, and Steve bought it for me, and I had that signed. I wish I had had my Evil Dead, one of a kind Evil Dead coloring and activity book with me at the time, and I would have had it signed. But the picture that Steve got me was really, really cool, and I'm glad that I was able to get that signed. So that's like two big ones for me. I could go on and on about other ones, but I won't delve too deeply into that tonight. But Apology said, what's the better title, Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eaters? The latter seems redundant, but I guess you could confuse them with voodoo ones. To be honest, I do like the simple zombie title as opposed to Zombie Flesh Eaters. I don't know, it just sounds more, I guess this is kind of funny, but it sounds more sadistic and I don't know, more horrific to me. Let's see. Darren, you say 1969 to 1971 to 1978 to 1984, I would say Fulci's best work. Yeah, that was probably the prime time for Fulci. Have I seen The Devil's Honey? Yes, I have. I'm not too fond of that one. I guess if you're a guy or a lesbian woman, you're going to be more interested in that. Because that one just seemed more of like a sleazy thing. The whole thing with the, what was it, the saxophone or whatever. And it's like the woman was being made love to by the saxophone, all that. I'm just not, that traditionally is not my type of movie. Dirk, Darren, you say, Dirk, that's one I've never seen. Hers pretty crazy. It is. It is. Texas, you said Ted Raimi and his Walkman playing that bad sounding Dire Straits type song. Yeah, and that same song keeps playing even like after he dies. It's still going. It's just like he's dead, and this thing is like it's running low on batteries or something. It's hilarious. Dirk, you say, how do you like Midsummer and the second watch Hereditary? Well, Hereditary, I mean. Dirk, actually, I have not finished Midsummer, and I haven't rewatched Hereditary, I'm ashamed to say. Hopefully I'll get some time soon, but it's like I've been telling everybody, I'm finally able to announce more widely, because I've given my 2 weeks notice at my current job that I am taking the new job. But it just seems like with all the stuff I had to do with the new job and taking care of stuff and tying up loose ends at my old job, or soon to be old job, I just have little time for anything else. So hopefully maybe after, I get settled in at the new job and stuff, I'll be able to devote more time to like going back and being able to watch and or rewatch stuff like that. Apology said, what are movies you have been meaning to watch for ages but never got around to? I've known about The Intruder since I was a teenager. I'm also about to watch Sweet 16 for the first time. Oh, Apollos, I think you'll like Sweet 16. Um, and Intruder, if you've not watched that one ever, I highly encourage you to watch it. If you have Tubi, you can definitely watch it. And I think Sweet 16's on there as well. But I'm sitting here trying to think of movies that I have been meaning to watch and haven't, other than the two that I just mentioned. Or actually, the one I just mentioned. I mean, there is stuff that I see in passing, you know. Sometimes even when you watch something, like on YouTube or Netflix or Shudder or even Tubi, it will, you know, give you some suggestions, or it'll put something that is starting in a few seconds unless you hit back and you don't want to watch that right now. So I get a lot of that, and sometimes I go ahead and watch them. Sometimes I get, when I'm going around on YouTube, I'll start out watching one thing, and then I get into a black hole of watching other things. And Steve does that too, but not generally with movies. It's usually with, this is how he discovers these weird ass people that do this stuff on YouTube, like the King Cobra guy. I don't know if Steve has talked to y'all about watching King Cobra. Actually, he doesn't watch King Cobra's actual streams, because if you were to watch this guy's actual streams, there'd be hours upon hours of time where he's just passed out. What somebody has done is taken clips and kind of strung them together and made like a shortened version of the exploits of King Cobra. And so sometimes, and you guys are probably going to laugh, but I have a penchant for like old TV movies. No matter how bad they may be, sometimes I'll get in a black hole of just watching one right after the other, because, you know, remember those kind of drug scare type films that they had, like Angel Dusted, and there was other stuff after that, and I'm just totally forgetting some of the titles. But for instance, if you put Angel Dusted, because I think you can watch Angel Dusted on YouTube right now. Hurry if you want to watch it, because they might take it off there. I do have a Warner Archive, one of those made-to-order DVDs that I got when it wasn't available to watch on YouTube. But right now, I think you can watch it on YouTube. But anyway, that has John Putch on it as a college student who smokes PCP-laced marijuana and just basically loses his freaking mind and ends up in a mental health facility and all of that. And I remembered watching that on NBC when I was much, much younger. I was a kid back then. But then if you put stuff like that into the YouTube search and that comes up, then this other stuff will start to come up after that. And another one that I rewatched recently that they took off of YouTube and never have put it back on, as far as I know, was The Miracle of Kathy Miller. And both of these, this one, Miracle of Kathy Miller and Angel Dusted, are supposed to be based on true stories. And The Miracle of Kathy Miller is, of course, about a girl, Kathy Miller, who was a runner. And she was crossing the road and got hit by a car, caused, massive head injuries. And her parents were pretty much told they didn't think that she would live. And if she did live, she might be a vegetable and I'm not trying to be crude. I'm just saying that they didn't think she was going to even maybe come out of the coma that she was in. And then if she did, they told her parents she'd have to relearn how to do everything, how to feed herself, how to walk again. And the whole movie is, because she's a runner, the whole movie is about her getting adjusted and learning to run again. And I don't know, like I said, you guys might think that stuff is hokey, but I guess it's part of a nostalgia factor for my youth, like a lot of things are. And I like to go back and watch that stuff. I also watch a lot of true crime stuff, like The Deliberate Stranger about Ted Bundy. There's a bunch of stuff on cults and things that you can find on YouTube. There's just like, you could just keep going. That's why I call it the black hole. You can just keep going and going and going and watch one right after the other. Let's see. But I hope that kind of answers your question, Apollo, so in a roundabout way. Blair, you want to know, do I think they will reboot the City Slickers franchise? Honestly, I can't say, Blair. I don't know. I think that's a neat series, but I couldn't speak to if I think they'll reboot it. Darren, you're right that Apollo won't get that Melissa song out of his head for ages after watching Sweet 16. No, there's no way. Darky say, I just started a YouTube channel. Just wondering, do you use Canva or Photoshop? I don't think I've ever used Canva. That doesn't sound familiar to me, Dirk, but I do use Photoshop a lot. That's what I use to make my my photos that promote my live streams. I also use Photoshop for a lot of other things to make the designs of the stickers that I've got in my Etsy shop. I mean, I will tell you, Photoshop does have a learning curve, but once you learn it, you can do all kinds of amazing things with it. And I would highly recommend it. Even if you have to, I would say you don't necessarily have to get the newest copy of it, because you're going to wind up paying big money for it unless you can find a way to download it. But I have seen, full versions of Photoshop a few years old that people will sell for $10 sometimes. Usually not more than $40. When if you buy it new and you buy the newest product, you're going to wind up spending several $100s. And I just don't know. It's a great program, but I think that's ridiculous that they ask for people to pay that kind of price. Now, Steve kind of laughs at me for using Photoshop, and he says I stretch all my pictures and all that, and I don't really understand what he's talking about. I think my stuff looks decent. Maybe it's not 100% professional, but I think most of it looks decent. Darren, you say you're the same. You love the old TV movies of the 70s. Yeah, 70s and 80s, early to mid 80s and 70s TV movies. Just great. Texas, you say, sounds like the dead preacher, Dr. Eugene Scott. You could turn on the channel and he's asleep with his Bible on his lap. Yeah, this guy, this King Cobra guy, he just he's already, I think, gotten kicked out of at least 2 other apartments. And I think he has Asperger's, or he's autistic, or something that is going on there. Steve showed me this old documentary or something on the guy where he was almost normal, And if you compare that to how he is now, it's just so sad. I just think he's either fried his brain on drugs or fried it on alcohol or both. Um, Apologies say, I watched The Running Man yesterday and I can't get Restless Heart out of my head. Might be a good change. Uh, yeah, Red Duel is a great movie. I like Duel. Did y'all ever see one? And I talked about this on one of my live streams where I was talking about television horror. Um, did y'all ever see one called Don't Go to Sleep? That was terrifying to me when I was a kid. Um, it not so much now. It still has its moments where it's kind of creepy, but it's not nearly as terrifying as it was when I was a kid when I watched it. But I tell you, if you watch that, you will never look at pizza cutters the same way ever again. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, Apologies say there used to be a lot of obscure Japanese movies on YouTube that I had a playlist of that got deleted. I wish I had found the time to watch them because they are hard to find otherwise. Yeah, sometimes it's and a lot of us, even me, who spends a lot of time on YouTube, um, a lot of times I won't think to rip them and put them on a disc because there's a lot of things that were on there that aren't now, that I wish that I had put on a disc and saved somewhere. Darren, you say Duel's a good one for sure. Jeepers Creepers stole a bit from it. I can see that. Uh, Dirk, what did Will Smith's hand say to Chris Rock's face? Slap. Oh, well, thank you, Dirk. You say it looks good on my thumbnails and such. Well, I appreciate that. Now, CK did the actual, like, overlays, like the Evil Dead chick that's up in the upper right hand corner and the Dana on deck at the bottom. Actually, CK made those for me. So I didn't do those myself, but I think he has a specific program. I'm not sure what he uses, but he makes little logos and things like and overlays and different things, and he'll send me stuff from time to time. John, you say a couple of my favorite TV movies are Chiller and Nightmare on the 13th Floor. Both came on USA. It seems like, John, that I have seen those, but it's been years and years since I've seen them. Um, But there used to be, when they used to have the movie of the week stuff, that was the good stuff. Um, some of this stuff it's very hard for me to watch now. When I was a kid, I didn't really necessarily comprehend everything that was going on. For instance, the Adam Walsh case, where they made the film Adam. And now when I watch it, it's very, very hard for me to watch. It's so heartbreaking when um, John Walsh gets the phone call that they've found what's left of his son. Um, I it is so painful to watch because I know that that really happened, and that is so disturbing and so heartbreaking. Um, that's not a movie I like to revisit very often. Um, but it is a very well made movie, I think. Um, I guarantee nobody would ever leave their kids alone anywhere at any time if they saw this movie. Um, and also, I don't I don't know if any of you have either read the book Alex, the Life of a Child. Alex DeFord was Frank DeFord's daughter. Frank DeFord was a sports writer. I think he has since passed away. But his daughter, Alex, was born with cystic fibrosis. And, people with cystic fibrosis now are living longer and living more quality lives now. But back when Frank DeFord's daughter Alex was born and they found out she had it, the research wasn't so extensive. And I think it's thanks to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and the stuff that Frank DeFord and others had done to, make sure that they get the funds and stuff to be able to give better treatments to people that have this disease. But the book is heartbreaking. The movie is heartbreaking. That's a movie I remember watching when I was a kid. And when Alex dies and her dad, they pretty much know she's fading. And, they ask her if she's anything she wants. And she says she's very thirsty and she'd like some root beer. And her father goes to the store and gets her root beer. And after Alex dies, he goes outside and pours the rest of the root beer out in the yard. And it's just, I don't know. The little girl, Jenny James, who plays Alex during the time period that the movie focuses on the most, was an incredible actress. I don't know what ever happened to her, but she was perfect in that role of Alex. And I know this stuff has nothing to do with horror really, but these are just very good movies that I would highly recommend. Now, Don't Go to Sleep is definitely television horror, but some of this other stuff is very heartbreaking to watch and disturbing in some cases and all of that, but I wouldn't necessarily call them horror. Let's see. Durkee said, I remember the Ray Bradbury Theater. It was pretty good, not mentioned enough. Yeah, Ray Bradbury Theater was really good. Well, thank you, Darren. You think I did a good job on the Fulci stream with UB. Well, I'm glad. Sometimes I get on there and I think I'm sounding okay, and then, good Lord, I go back and watch it, and I'm like, dang, you're such a doof. So I'm glad somebody liked it. Let's see. And Derek, if you're agreeing with Darren about me, thank you very much. Apology say TV horror movies used to be a rite of passage. The window scene in Salem's Lot was always hyped up. That and I think that was the scene that maybe got Steve when he was a kid, because he went for a time where he was sleeping with the covers up to his chin, because he was afraid the vampires were going to come and suck his blood. But I'll tell you another creepy scene in that is when the gravedigger gets turned into a vampire, and the teacher from the local middle school or high school or whatever has, because he was sick, the guy was sick, the teacher lets him stay there, and he goes upstairs, and Mike, the guy that's recently got turned into a vampire, sitting in the rocking chair, rocking back and forth, and he looks up and his eyes are glowing, and he says, "Look at me, teacher." It's like, it's just so creepy. It's probably my favorite scene in the entire film is that, because it just really, really works. Let's see, John, you say Unsolved Mysteries is still scary as shit. The whole time period was terrifying looking back on it. I think what made Unsolved Mysteries so creepy was that damn theme song. And I heard somebody else mention that too, that it just terrified somebody in their family every time that show came on, just because of the theme song. Because they didn't always have like crimes and stuff like that. Sometimes it was lost loves. Steve doesn't like to watch those, but I'm always intrigued by those. people that had to, they were madly in love with somebody, and for whatever reason they were separated, and then they get to see each other again after 40 years or 50 years or whatever, or people that have been saved from drowning or saved in car accidents by somebody that they would consider a guardian angel, and they hadn't seen them since that day, and then they're reunited with them. People that had to give up their children because of different circumstances, financial or otherwise, and they get reunited with them. And I really like those. So not all of the unsolved mysteries are chilling. Some of them are, but I think that damn theme song coming on is what really gets to people. Let's see. Durkee say, hell yeah, Pauls, that still holds up. Probably my second favorite Hooper film. Darren, you say, I just ordered the Blu-ray of Salem's Lot. Hands down, the best vampire film ever. Scared the hell out of me as a kid. I think it scared the hell out of a lot of kids. I mean, I don't hear Steve say that stuff scared him too much, but he does talk about Salem's Lot. John, you say, I've been in Studio 9 and 12 where they filmed Salem's Lot, but it's just a giant empty soundproof building, nothing special, just used for random things. But that is cool, though, that you've been there. And Darren, you agree that the rocking chair scene is terrifying? Yeah, that scene just works. It sets out to scare you, and it does exactly that. Apology say, I go for kitschy melodrama sometimes. It's not a TV movie, but have you seen The Whole Wide World about the creator of Conan, Robert E. Howard? I always tear up at the end. I have not seen that one. I'll have to look into seeing if I can look that one up. John, you say, yeah, that master design for Barlow where he looked like Nosferatu was great. Terrifying stuff. And he just that was another scene that I liked really well when they were going to stake, when Ben is wanting to go stake Barlow, and he gets ready to do it, and Barlow's eyes open, and he's got that blue face and stuff, and he's just going like that, and he's just like that. I don't know. It's some kind of weird sound he makes, sort of like a Frankenstein monster sound. Blair, you asked, did you ever watch Up All Night? I believe I did, maybe once or twice. I think Steve has probably watched it more than I have, to be honest. Dirk, you say, I did with Rhonda and Gilbert Gottfried. I think Steve probably watched it more with Rhonda Shear than he did Gilbert Gottfried. I don't even know if he watched it when Gilbert Gottfried was on there. Apologies, say, I think you could do another great adaptation of Salem's Lot, but it might be hard to capture the atmosphere of the original one. The book is very gory, and the master is a cruel mastermind. Exactly. Yeah, Darren, I agree. I think so many people just thought of David Soul as, just like being in buddy cop things, you know what I mean? And there was much more to David Soul than just that. And I think he shows it in something like Salem's Lot, but somebody has to actually watch Salem's Lot. And some people get in their head, it's a vampire flick, I don't want to watch it, But there's so much there. The relationship between Ben and Susan, and the relationship with Ben and Mark. All these different inner relationships within the film are just great. And that's because Stephen King is able to create realistic, well-drawn characters. And I think that's why I like his books so well. And if an adaptation is made of one of his books and it's made well, then you'll get that similar feeling when you watch the film. Red, you say, I tried to watch Unsolved Mysteries on Pluto TV. I didn't finish the first episode. I probably only watched that and Rescue 911 because we didn't have cable back then. I remember Rescue 911 too. Dirk, you say, have you seen The Dark and the Wicked? It's on Shudder. It's very dread-heavy, atmospheric. Dark is Dark and the Wicked. Is that the one where the old woman starts acting very weird in that one? Because if it is, I thought that the way that one started, I thought it was going to be really great, and somewhere along the way it went off the rails for me. John, you say Joe Bob was always good for horror stuff. Up All Night was great for the 80s comedies and odd shit like Trauma. Both fun 90s memories. Oh, definitely. Dirk, you say they kind of remade Salem's Lot with the TV show The Strain. See, I know what you're talking about, but I never did watch that. But maybe Steve did. Steve watches a lot more of that stuff. I don't know how he has time because he's, bless his heart, he's always so tired. And I stay up a lot later than he does, and I still don't find time to watch half the stuff he does. Apology say David So also had a #1 single. LOL. Yes, he did. Okay. Well, Dirk, maybe I need to go back. You know, I say this about a lot of stuff, but seriously, maybe I need to go back and watch it again, because when that sucker started, I thought I was in for a real treat, and I don't know. It sounds like I need to give it another try. M. Birmingham, I have seen The Taking of Deborah Logan, and that is a creepy ass movie. That one and the Atticus Institute, I would recommend both of those for anybody that's looking for just a creepy film that's going to make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and have you jumping at shadows and stuff like that, just because they're very creepy, very well made, have a lot of, I don't want to say a bunch of jump scares, but unexpected scares, I guess, would be a better way to put it. Apology said the first season of The Strain was pretty good, but the book was one of the worst I've ever read. Really? Because usually, but I can't say because I haven't read the book The Strain either, but normally the book is better than the movie. And the only case for me, and I've mentioned this before, I know, that's been the reverse for me was with Forrest Gump. And I think that was because I didn't read the book first. I hadn't even heard of Forrest Gump by Winston Groom until the Tom Hanks led movie, Forrest Gump. And I went to the movies and saw that with my cousin. She had already seen it, and she went to see it again because it was that good. And then, so I thought I would give the book a try. And I think the way Zemeckis tried to make this movie, he took out all that stuff where Forrest Gump was cussing in the book and wasn't really... I mean, Forrest Gump in the book was sort of a little more crass, or a lot more crass, than the Tom Hanks Forrest Gump in the movie. Tom Hanks' version of Forrest Gump was just a simple man who looked at the world through a child's eyes, with that much innocence. When I tried to read the book, on the other hand, he was talking about himself, like he would say, people think I'm a mongoloid that plays with myself and stuff like that, and I just didn't feel the same way about the character of Forrest Gump as I did when it was, you know, encapsulated by Tom Hanks, who Tom Hanks is a fantastic actor. Who would have ever thought that, and he was good on Booze and Buddies, but who would have ever thought that the Tom Hanks from Bosom Buddies would have went on to the illustrious career he has had. But I could still, in things like Bosom Buddies, when he made his debut in He Knows You're Alone, which is a horror movie, by the way, if you didn't know, I could see that shining star in him way back then. Of course, I had already seen things that he had done more recent. When he's fantastic in The Green Mile, I mean, very versatile actor. I even liked him in Castaway, and a lot of people said that was a boring movie. But I think that movie had a lot of heart. And I think if you think it's boring, maybe you need to go back and watch it again. Yes, John. Taking to Deborah Logan does have Opal from All My Children, and it is a good flick. John, have you also seen the Atticus Institute? Because I think that one's great, too. No, Stephen, I don't have the Kino release of Straight to Hell from '87. I don't believe I've watched that movie. Would you recommend it, though? Apologies, say, I think the book was written during the conception of the show and just reads like a screenplay instead of a novel. Oh, yeah, I get what you're talking about there. Okay, now it's interesting, Apollos, that you bring up something like The Day After. I have not seen Threads, but I actually have. I'll show you guys. Not that you don't believe me, but I actually have the Kino Lorber release on Blu-ray of The Day After. Now, I watched this movie whenever I first got it. I've seen it on TV. Before that, and it's a very good movie, but in light of what's going on right now, I cannot watch this movie. And it's kind of the same way I felt at the start of the pandemic. When the pandemic was getting ramped up, I could not go back and rewatch The Stand, and I'm talking about the original Stand miniseries from '94, just because that stuff gets in my head. And just, I can't get it back out again. So I think if things do settle down in the Ukraine and Putin cools his jets or whatever, maybe I'll be able to go back and watch this. But just not right now. There's no freaking way I can watch that and get a good night's sleep. Let's see. Darky say, great line from the priest when they say they don't believe in the devil. He says, you think a wolf cares that you believe? Not if he finds you alone in the woods. Yeah. Really, I don't know how I missed Threads. I'm going to have to ask Steve about that one. Because you say it scared the hell out of all the kids. Well, I bet it did. Any of that Cold War stuff will scare the shit out of me. Even that, and I've mentioned this before too, even that episode, I think it was Twilight Zone from the 80s, had an episode called A Little Peace and Quiet, where a harried housewife and mother finds an amulet when she's digging in her garden, and when she's wearing the amulet, she has the ability to just say shut up or stop talking, and like whoever's around her, if it's her kids, her husband, whatever, they will just stop moving, stop talking, until she says start talking again. Well, the story goes on and has a few comedic moments, like she was in the grocery store and she wants to get a box of cereal for her kids, and this lady takes the last box of the cereal that she wants to get for her kids, And she tells the lady, well, I just think you better shut up. And the lady just freezes. In fact, the whole store freezes. She takes the cereal out of the lady's hand, takes her groceries up front, puts money in the mouth of the manager, and she says, I think that'll do. And then she leaves. Well, it goes on a little bit, and this is supposed to take place during Cold War era times. And so she gets a visit by the two members of this group called Non-Pop, who want her to come to this debate to speak out against nuclear weapons. Of course, she kind of blows them off, tells them they better shut up, drags their bodies out to her front yard and lays them down, then says start talking and shuts her door. The people wake up, they freak out, they're like, what just happened? And they just leave. So then she's taking a bath like a night or two later, and her husband hollers for her from the bedroom. She has her robe on, she comes in there, and she's like, what's happening? Well, nuclear war has just broken out. And her husband's crying, her little boy's crying, and she just screams, shut up, shut up, shut up. Everything freezes. She's the only one that's not frozen. She goes outside, she looks, she can see this nuclear warhead just frozen in the sky. If she says start talking, the nuclear warhead is going to hit and explode. And that's the way it ends, with her wandering around and everybody else is frozen. And to me, that's absolutely chilling as well. And let's see. John, you say, got the Deep Red 4K this past week. It's probably in my top 3 favorite horror films ever now. Just a masterpiece. I completely agree with that, John. Both Steve and I do have the 4K of Deep Red. Paul, you said there's a Japanese docudrama from the 50s about Hiroshima that's hard to watch. It's like looking at an open wound. Exactly. Same thing with a lot of Vietnam War stuff, even though it wasn't nuclear warheads and stuff like that. It's just, the whole thing about Vietnam is just completely disturbing. War in general is disturbing. Well, thank you, Dirk. You go get some rest, and I'll tell Steve that you enjoyed the stream, and you take it easy too. But I've rambled on here for a little bit here about several things. So if you've got anything you want to bring up or ask me, comment on, I can stay on here maybe a minute or two more, and try to answer stuff if y'all got anything you want to bring up. And now I'm probably going to get off here and probably have to reheat the soup again, because I've enjoyed talking so much that I kind of forgot about my soup, and it got kind of cold now. But I don't even know if Steve's awake in there. He may have passed out from that gummy by now. Because usually he's in here asking me if I'm just about done or whatever when it gets to around 8 o'clock or so. But I'm going to, I may wait a little bit, guys, but I'm going to try to see if I can find that Threads movie to watch, because that is one that I have not heard of. But, if y'all have anything else you want to bring up, go ahead and put that in the chat. But I am probably going to get off here in just a little bit. And finish my soup and make me one of those Nitro Pepsi vanilla floats, and probably call it a night. Probably relax and watch some movies and all that. And I see Steve, so he is alive and he's not passed out or anything. We got to talking about like TV movies. Have you heard of a Cold War movie called Threads?
Yes.
Okay. Can you get it for me?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
Copy of it too.
Okay. Well, Darren said they showed it to him in school when he was in school, and it scared the hell out of everybody. So Oh, apologies. Say, all right, Dan. Last question. Since you love animals so much, name the best killer animal films. Oh, geez. Well, Cujo would be one. Alligator, yeah. I just got the 4K of Alligator, by the way, and as much as that movie can look amazing, if you like that movie, I highly recommend you get it in on the 4K if you have the ability to watch it that way. Um, and other stuff like Kingdom of the Spiders and stuff like that, even though spiders freak me the hell out, I I still like that movie. I guess that counts as killer animal. I mean, Grizzly I like. Um, Squirm I like with the killer one. I didn't think so. Um, you might want to check and make sure that nobody's out there. Oh gosh, let's see. I even like stuff like ants and uh, the nest, which is cockroaches. I mean, Stanley's a great snake movie that I actually want to get if does anybody know if Vinegar Syndrome has that out and just a horror high Stanley double feature yet? Because I didn't want to spend $200 on the package, but I'd be willing to buy just that double feature. Darren, I know Razorback, but I don't know that I've seen it. Red, you said the best killer animal film is Donnie Darko. Doesn't that have something about a rabbit in it? It's been so long since I've seen that. Oh, wow, Paul. You say Threads is much more realistic than The Day After. It's worth a watch. Ew. Okay. Well, give me some time with the stuff that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine and Putin making threats all around. I may wait a little bit, but I do want to eventually see it. There's my buddy Reg there. I mean, most of the killer animal movies I like, even like Jaws. I love Jaws. I mean, that's a movie that has a great. I get warm feelings when I think about Jaws because this is a movie my dad and I would watch together every time it came on TV. I mean, every time we would sit down and watch that movie. So, and like I've said before, I credit my mom and dad and my Aunt Sandy with my love of horror movies. And then later, my cousin Jed, because he watched a lot of stuff with me. But most any killer animal movie I like. I like them differently than I like my slashers and giallos and stuff like that, but I still love them. I guess you could say, although it's not a killer animal movie per se, but Evil Speak has that great scene with the pigs in it. So, Darren, you say Razorback is an Australian killer pig film. Okay. I have seen the movie Pigs, though. It's good. Golly. If you didn't ask me, I apologize. I would probably know a ton of them, but like I get on here and I'm trying to think, but yeah, basically, even the cockroach episode, they're creeping up on you from Creepshow. I like. I just can't think of really any, that movie Bug. I think it was Bug, not that newer one, not the one like in the 2000s or whatever it was, but that old one where they got the electrified bugs that burn people up or whatever they are. That one was good. Just any of the rat movies, Deadly Eyes. Even though you can obviously tell in that movie, if you want to see a bunch of little weenie dogs running around in uh, rat costumes, and you can literally tell that it's little weenie dogs. If you watch it, just really closely, or pause it in the scenes where there's a lot of those big rats running around. I like Willard. I like Ben. Yeah, basically any of them I like. Yeah, actually, pause it would be time to watch a Killer Rabbit movie. I don't know that this might be blasphemy to some people, but I don't think I've ever watched all of Night of the Lepus. I need to. Um, Actually, some people say, like, I think Critters 2 is a good Easter movie because I think, don't they have an Easter egg hunt in that movie? Um, Robert Long, I think I did watch Mosquito, but it's been many moons ago when I watched it. Uh, Rats, the Italian film, is awful, you say, Darren. I think I have that on DVD, like a double feature with something else. Either I do or Steve does. One of us does, or both of us, maybe. Um, yeah, I've seen a few that are not that great, but most of the big ones that most everybody has heard about, I like those. Texas Food of the Gods is one that I haven't ever seen. That's probably blasphemy, too. Um, oh, yes, Robert Long. I actually have Nightmares on Blu-ray, and I do like the story in there about the gigantic rat. Um, Actually, I like all the story. I think I like all the stories in Nightmares. I think that's a good little horror anthology film. The Bishop of Battle is one that I remember very well. For some reason, I remember all those stories about the one about the woman. I think it's the first one. The one about the woman who wants to go out and get a pack of cigarettes, but there's a serial killer roaming around. Um, then there's one, I think, about a priest that's being almost run down by somebody in a black truck. Um, then there's the Bishop of Battle, and there's also the rat one. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but isn't Of Unknown Origin, isn't that kind of like a rat movie, or is that something else? It's been a long time since I've seen that one. Um, but I'll give everybody like Apollos. I hope that kind of gave you a little bit of insight into the types of killer animal movies I like. Um, but I'll give things a couple more. Excuse me, a couple more minutes in case anybody wants to bring anything else up before I cut this off. I'm sure Steve's going to want to go and lay down for a while. Yes, Apollos. I think Roar was something that Steve and I saw kind of recently. Maybe he had seen it before. You said they tried to make a conversation. Yeah, conservation movie with real lines, but ended up with nearly all the crew members and cast being maimed, clawed, or bitten. Yeah, I think that was the one that we watched. Yeah, very bizarre how that was filmed. uh, then you even have some things like Phenomenon, which didn't entirely have to do with insects or animals, um, but a big part of it did. Jennifer Connelly's character could control the insects, or the insects were attracted to her and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that maybe even if they don't focus entirely on animals and or insects, um, they still play a big part in the movie. Steve, what's going on in there? I don't know what Steve's doing, but in any event, I'm really upset about the digital copy of the rest. What? Hold on, guys. I don't know what's going on with Steve. What?
Get a paper towel. She threw up in here. Yeah, I tried to get it up, but it's too much.
Well, I'm so sorry, guys. You guys are gonna think me and Steve are loonies. Every time I go to do something, either a dog is crapping in the floor, they're vomiting. That's what happened. One of our girl dogs just threw up. And Steve was getting sick trying to pick it up, so I had to go in there and clean it up. But not that you guys need to know that. Yes, Darren, that, being the sequel to Willard, actually had the Michael Jackson song in it. Apologies say lots of animal stuff in Jallows, or the animals in the witch who could be her in disguise. Yeah, like Black Phillip and everything. Yeah, Texas. Ben was the sequel to Willard. I actually have a double feature with both of those. I think that was a Scream Factory release. But, guys, I think before anything else happens with the dogs, I think I'm going to call it a night tonight. But I thank all you guys for hanging out with me and Steve this evening. And I'll be back. I think I'm going to do, I promised that I would do another Ted Raimi stream. But I think I'm going to do Don Scardino films here before long. So probably my next live stream I'll do will be on the films of Don Scardino. Don Scardino. So you guys can look forward to that. Apologies say, is the Crispin Glover remake any good? I know you wasn't really asking me, Apollos, but in my opinion, I like Crispin Glover, but I don't really care for that remake that much. You say at least he wasn't wearing a clown suit, and you thought it wasn't that bad. Have a good night, Darren. So I'm going to turn this over to Steve so he can shut everything down. But thanks again, everybody. I've enjoyed it despite the things going on with the dogs.
Night.
Up your butt. Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit Radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.